This is the exact approach that I took on LinkedIn, which eventually landed me a $450,000 data science offer. Now, this was during a hotter job market, but the way to network still stands the same. There are two key things to point out first. One, if you look at the very top, the person wrote, "I'm hiring," right? So this was already a hiring manager and a person that is in a position to actually do something. Spending more time writing to people who are actually in a position to hire and are actually looking for people to fill their team is going to take you so much further than just writing to random people at organizations hoping to get a referral for some job and they have no idea who you are or how well you work. Second, I focused on actually having warm referrals. Now, obviously, look, if I had no connection into a company at all, I'm going to write to somebody, right? Because I have nothing to lose. But I always look first for, do I have a friend of a friend, some sort of mutual acquaintance? And so it turned out this was a hiring manager and we were in the same program, but a few years apart. And while my former boss did not really know her personally, he at least knew who she was. Okay, so first, my email was short and to the point. There was only 3 or 4 sentences in here. During this time, I mentioned that we had a connection through our university program, that I had been doing causal inference, so that highlights that I have the relevant skill set, and why I was leaving, that there's been this exodus post-acquisition. So 3 lines, all impactful, how we know each other, what my skill set is, why I'm leaving and looking for a new role. The hiring manager then wrote me back after a few days saying that she would love to learn more about me and that she had a few roles open. I then followed this up with a little bit longer email. Here, I described a few of the projects that I had been working on that were highly relevant. And if you note, I highlight the business problems that I was solving and how I used causal inference to solve them. I then finished saying I was looking for a similar role where I would be designing experiments using quasi-experimental methods. I love working with stakeholders and I'm looking at working at the intersection of causal inference and machine learning, and I want to work with other experienced folks. From there, we basically skipped the recruiter round and we went right to a one-on-one technical call with the hiring manager before I got placed into the system to do the take-home challenge, coding challenge, and all the other final round robin of interviews. But in my opinion, the reason why this works so well is I wrote to someone who was in a position to hire and I had a warm connection to them. And of course, I was highly relevant for the role, right? If you don't fit the skill set, it doesn't make sense. Oh, and finally, this is actually really important, though, who knows who's still here at 3 minutes. It's really important to actually apply for the role first. They can't do a referral if you're not in the system. So apply for the role and then start reaching out to people. And that's what I did here.